So I had something kind of neat happen yesterday I want to share with you guys.
Neat?
Neat. I'd say neat.
Okay.
Super neat.
Was amazing.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for neat?
Bring the neat.
Okay, so let me just explain the real estate first so it'll make sense. So where I live, in the community that I live in, we have a gym that is in the bottom floor of our clubhouse.
Okay.
It's a little bitty guy, but it has what I need in it. So I'm going there 5 times a week, usually at the same time. Yesterday I was running a little early, which is cool, right? So I get to the clubhouse and I open up the door and there's a meeting going on at the clubhouse. There's like 6 women and the tennis coach that's there also. He's the dude that I know, right? So I kind of interrupted. I'm like, sorry, you guys. And I kind of tiptoe around them to go downstairs and into the gym.
Please tell me you walked just like that on your tiptoes.
It was kind of like it. Kind of like this a little bit.
You're doing the cookie dance. You don't even realize
that's
it.
more like that should never be recreated ever
it can't
again.
be done.
Anyway, so I get to the stairs and I'm just about to hit the first step on the way down when one of the women says, "But," she's got like an accent, "But." So I'm like, all right, but this is a new neighbor. Must be a listener to the show. Hi. She's like, come here. So I walk over there and she puts her hand out and I put my hand out and she says, "Yappy dog owner."
No!
Oh, that is great.
And she's got an accent.
And she's got an accent.
Oh, so it's even cuter.
Yeah.
Dude, that's more than neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely more than neat.
Isn't that neat? In front of all of our friends.
Yeah.
All your neighbors.
All my neighbors. I don't know any of them except the tennis pro who I'm looking at, who is clearly like so uncomfortable, but that uncomfortable laughter.
What'd you do? What'd you say?
Well, I will tell you this. I did not panic.
Good.
Yeah, I did not panic. The person that was inside of my head and the person that we're talking were 2 totally different people. Because when she shook my hand, the only thing I could think was F word, F word, F word.
Did you say, "Nice to meet you. I've already met your dogs"?
I really can't, in very distinct detail, tell you exactly what the conversation was. But I can tell you this. Unfortunately, it was very pleasant.
It was.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
They're always so nice. And you're like, I can't be mad anymore.
I really did not want that. Right. But she was really very nice. So I do remember this.
Okay.
Oh, great. Well, I was in my concussive state.
Because how many times have you come on the air and complained
Yeah.
about these yappy dogs?
So let me just
3.
reset this for those of you guys that haven't been listening. Yeah, I moved into this great new neighborhood and I love it, except there are some really yappy dogs on the other side of my tree line, which I've been bitching about now for close to 4 weeks, right? And as soon as they're let out of the house, like I said yesterday, when a leaf falls, they start barking, which starts this chain of all the other dogs in our little 4 neighborhood quadrant starting to bark, including mine as well. So I've been complaining about it. And then yesterday I came in here saying, you guys, you know I hate confrontation. I don't want to start my relationship with my neighbor on a negative. So I'm just going to get this device that trains dogs and even says it trains your like neighborhood dogs that when they bark, it emits like some ultra high sound. The dogs get trained. The neighbors never even know that the dogs are being trained because they hate the sound so much. So there was not going to be any confrontation. It was perfect, right? So that's the origin story. She's apparently been listening for a while.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Oh. So she did say this, and she really was pleasant, man.
You have done everything except go over there and speak to them.
So let me tell you how the part of the conversation that I do remember when I wasn't panicking, how it went. So I do know that for about a minute there, I was really hoping and praying that she wasn't the neighbor and it wasn't the dogs. So she described her dog, and I'm like, I don't think it's your house. And she's like, to the right, it's the pool. And then I'm like, yeah, it's your dog.
That's you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dance. This is it.
No way out of this one.
And I just want to go ahead and like get the picture. So again, you came back to her. So the whole thing is unfolding in front of the rest of the neighbors and the tennis
So
pro.
they're having a meeting. So they're all very familiar with each other. So this is definitely an away game for me. Okay. She's on home turf and I am a visitor here.
Uh-huh.
So we we went back and forth in a very pleasant way, though.
Yes.
There was never aggressive. We have a disagreement about how much her dogs bark.
Okay.
All right. But she did say that, look, I'll be honest with you. My husband is so annoyed by these dogs also. We know that they are yappy dogs. And she said, so it's a problem and we know it also.
Can I shoot him with an invisible laser?
Did that come up?
Did what?
The ultrasound thing that you were going to.
Well, there's a second part of this story.
I bet there is. I was just sitting there waiting for it. I know it's coming.
I am so sorry. I am enjoying this as much as I am.
I knew you would. And really, I'm trying to piecemeal it together because when these things happen, they happen so fast. But I do remember thinking, like, while it was going, like, dang, my meditation is really working because I'm kind of in the moment right now. I'm like not panicking, right? I'm staying zen. So, whatever it was pleasant enough. It was like, okay, I felt uncomfortable because I'm in front of everybody. I don't know anybody, but it was pleasant enough.
Okay.
And I think we said something to the effect of, when I left and went downstairs to work out, she said, look, if you ever have any problem, just come on over to the house.
Okay.
And I'm like, ugh. That's mature.
So, I gotta walk over there.
So that's how adults handle these things, huh? So I walk downstairs and I start working out and I'm working out and it's 45 minutes and then it's 50 and I'm looking and I'm like, I wonder how long that meeting lasts up there because I really don't want to go by them again. So I extend my workout a little bit. It's about an hour and 5 at this point. I figure I'm safe, right? So I walk back up there and sure enough, there's just 3 still there and Dog Lady is one of them.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, because, your girlfriends, you hang out after and then you get, caught up on stuff.
Or she doesn't want to go home because her dogs are so flippin' annoying.
No, she was waiting. She remembered she forgot something. She was waiting on you to finish your workout.
Yeah, I was about to say, they was in there talking about Bert. The 3 of them.
I literally said when I went upstairs and I saw her and the 3, I said, how long do these meetings last? I literally was extending my workout so I wouldn't have to see you. I swear to you. I swear on my children I said that. I swear on my children. So she laughs, I laugh, and then she says, can we go outside and talk? So we start talking about it on the way from the clubhouse to my car. And I tell you what, you guys, I even said this during the conversation. I'm like, you're really messing this whole thing up because you're really quite lovely. And I didn't really want that. So it gets worse for me. So her dog is Yappy because they had the same situation with their dog that I had with Reagan's. She took him out one time and this dog got attacked by a pack of dogs and it has never been the same dog since, like almost to where it was on its last couple of breaths. So it has been super scared ever since then. So
it's traumatized.
It was traumatized. And in the middle of this conversation, I literally say to her, boy, do I feel like an a-hole now. And she's like, well, I'm not done.
You think that's enough, right? Pile it on.
So then she tells me about another dog she had that got out, that got hit by a car. And it really was she was really super pleasant. She really didn't have to be. And we exchanged phone numbers. And she's like, I have thought about like sticking my head over the fence before and saying, hey, we can talk about this, but she hasn't had the opportunity. We exchanged phone numbers and I told her I was going to put the device up and she said, no problem.
Oh, good.
She said, absolutely no problem. So the scouting report that I got from everybody else in the neighborhood, I have not found that to be the truth.
Good.
Okay. But I also get the sense that while she was nice to me, this is not a woman I want to F with. I just had the feeling and looking at the group, like she's kind of the group leader, like she was being nice, but she's giving me one chance.
And she's smart. She's wicked smart because she knew you would come back on air and talk about this interaction.
I even told her that.
Thank you for the extra content.
Dude, what
That's
are the
amazing.
odds that you would go early and run into that meeting and run
know.
into her
I
and have that
know.
conversation?
I mean, I'm usually there at 2 o'clock and I just happen to wake up from my nap. Well, I couldn't wake up from the nap because, here's the irony. My dogs were barking yesterday, woke me up yesterday. And then when I left the house this morning during my 5-minute meditation, 5 minutes, my dog is the one outside at 5 in the morning barking. So that's the universe laughing at me right there. So it is squashed.
Is it?
As far as I know.
I don't know.
I have been humbled.
That's going to be my favorite story all day.
Without
Thank
a
you.
doubt.
Kristen
Thank
wants
you.
to
That is
relive
amazing.
it.
Without a doubt.
We need a storyboard for Kristen. She wants to see it in motion.
The Bert Show.